Next, it's video 6 in the pillar of people in your agency, and we're going to look at your agency recruitment strategy. Now, this is a really different way to look at recruitment. I work with a lot of agencies, and in the past, they had gone through a whole series of where recruitment really affected their business. When they were looking for people, it was too late. It was at the wrong time, and they would be in a rush. They might make a bad hire, or they might make a good hire, but they're rushing them through the system, and that person never really gets a start. So we're going to look at a really solid agency recruitment strategy, and you should always be hiring. I want you to think about having a page on your website, always hiring. You're always looking. What's the worst thing that can happen is you get great resumes. But remember what happens. Sometimes it could take 2, maybe 3 months before a great candidate can come into your business. So you should be always building a bench for these people. It's a knowledge-based or professional services business. Your agency should adopt a really good recruitment strategy. If your recruitment strategy is clear enough, you should be able to answer these questions. Number 1, who are you and who do you want to be? Define yourself and who you are looking for. Articulating what you want to be as an agency is as important as defining the talent you want to attract. Again, now I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it goes back to that agency positioning exercise and your story and your vision, who you are, where you've come from, what you do, where you're going. That's all part of attracting good fit clients and recruit and employees as well. Where you are going, you've got to be clear on the direction you want to take. In order to attract the right talent, you need to have clear standards. This is also one way of knowing if the talents you are attracting are a good fit for your agency. By you having a clear vision and then asking your candidates if they have a plan for their future, you're actually setting a really good start. Recruitment best practices. Adjust your game. Overhaul your whole interview process and test candidates every step of the way and evaluate against that process. So, for example, if you're looking for experience within technical skills, you're looking for experience in writing, SEO, design, and development that you're going to want your team to have. Make sure they at least master one of these, before they move on to the next. As a rule, you shouldn't overvalue anything else. Marketing, automation, and account management can be taught, but the technical part of getting that, their base level skills should be really, really solid. When should you hire? Do not overlook the projections and capacity. Start the year with a hiring plan and make adjustments as you go along. Growing your agency requires hiring ahead. Consider the perfect balance when it comes to capacity, overhead, onboarding timelines, and profitability. Ideally, you should have an accountability chart and a plan for the year so that you can hire with confidence. In some cases, I've worked with agencies who have over 12 people, and they've hired an office manager in addition to the team leader. That person is responsible for organizing travel for staff, facilities for the office, breakfast seminars, employee interviews, and general office admin. That person can also often be forgotten when you're planning the capacity of your business. As the agency owner, you tend to go, oh, sure, I'll organize the sandwiches or I'll organize the travel, but that can blow into your own productivity time if you don't actually factor that in the future when you grow over 10, 12 people. To help with projections and capacity and hiring, we do have another section on the agency financials, which will be you can actually get as well. So we can cover that off in more detail. Attracting the right talent, executing an inbound recruitment plan for your own agency is a really good idea. Simply put, let the talent look for you. Check for core skills instead of relying on what is written on the applicant's resume. So we talked about these, having your core skills and having the values for your agency. Look at those and have them ready. Ways to attract the right talent. You've got to build your brand, your frequency, and your reach. And if you've watched the Culture Code, how to build that video, you will know that part of the Culture Committee is to post on social media about your company, what a great time you're having, what your clients are up to, what work you're doing. And that helps to build your brand to attract the right talent. Join every single directory you can possibly imagine. Play the social media game. Write about your agency, your team, and its accomplishments. Get featured in the local newspapers, in the local magazines. It's so important to build your brand as a great place to work. Address the persona of your website. You know, who is that person that you want to attract? And consider user experience and create form fields. I recommend, again, just having a page on your website. We are always hiring. We are always looking for these type of people, web development, IMCs, etc. Please fill in the form below. Now, when it comes to an interview, how to frame the interview. As the agency owner, you're probably going to be involved at some stage, maybe towards the end. But if this is a job for your team leader, make sure that they set the stage. Let them know who you are and what you are looking for in the interview. State intent. Let them know what you are hiring for and how you determine a good fit, so that they know that you're looking for values, core skill set, flexibility. Set the agenda. Give both sides enough time to talk. 10 minutes for the interviewer, 10 minutes for the interviewee. Confirm buy-in. Ask the right question. How does that sound? Make sure you can see that they're acknowledging, and sometimes nerves can overtake an interviewee, and that's okay. Give them time to settle in. Nerves, it does not mean they can't do the job. Nerves just means they're nervous. Here's some pro tips that I've put together over the last few years, and I've actually worked with agencies who've successfully implemented these. In your apply to us, or actually if somebody's sending your resume, ask them to send a video. Everyone can do a video with their camera phone, with, you know, a Zoom recording. They can whip up a vidyard video and record a video. Now, you might say, oh, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like being in front of the camera. Oh, I'm not customer facing. It doesn't matter. In today's world, we're using video over and over again. And whether it's explaining how something works for a coworker or going through a monthly report for a client, the people in your team need to be really comfortable with video. You will be doing Zoom calls. You might be out of the office one week and you're going to have your one-to-ones on a Zoom call. What you can't have is somebody uncomfortable with just sitting in front of a camera. So get a video in. You're going to very quickly see if they're a good fit through the video. And then you can make a decision if they're going to come in for an interview or not. It's going to save you an awful lot of time. Ask them about their inputs. I got this one from Sam Ovens, who I just love his videos because they crack me up. He's Kiwi, he's a straight talker. And one of the interview techniques he's talked about, which we've implemented really successfully, is what are the people that you are hiring reading, watching, listening to, and why? And how do they use that information? You know, I hear a lot of people who love Gary Vee. They love Gary Vee. They'll read and watch and listen to him. And then you ask them why. Why do you like him? What impact does it have on your day today? What does it improve in your life? What does it improve in your workload? So we can see when people come in the door that they have their resume. Then you can do a test that skill set. But what is actually coming into their heads, and what are they watching? What do they spend their weekends watching, listening, reading, their evenings, their commute to work? That's a really important thing to acknowledge and to investigate. And then another one, which is just great crack altogether, is to do group interviews. If you've more than 3 people coming for an interview, you could extend the time allowed. You can say, look, the interview is going to be 90 minutes and this is up to you. You can surprise them and go, okay, for the first 30, you know, for 30 minutes, you want to do a group exercise. and get them to work together. See how they, number one, handle a surprise, number two, how they perform in a team, and who's the presenter. Who naturally is good at presenting because they could be a leader in the future. These are some pro tips when it comes to interviewing. The next one, you're looking at candidate evaluation. You're looking at people who are they coachable? What would you do if you were to, if they're struggling after 30 days? How are they going to take feedback, coachability, etc.? Transparency. Why have you struggled to find a place before and stick? If you're actually asking them this question about, maybe they've been career hopping and their resume looks like there's a lot of different roles on it. Sometimes that's because they're young, sometimes it's because of various different factors. But if you see the resume has a lot of different roles, just ask them the question. What's the desire? Why is this position the right direction for your career? Let them answer that. Organization. We all know, working in an agency, time management, skills management, organization is really important. Ask them, how do they plan their week? What tools do they use? And humility, that's impressive. What do you owe your success to? So you can actually acknowledge their successes, but let's see, if they're actually talking about who got them there, who do they work with as a team? There's very rarely a self-made man or woman without a great team or team of people behind them. So another good thing to do is create a profiling exercise like Myers-Briggs is something that you can do. It looks at your preferred styles of communication. There's also another one called 16personalities.com. You can check out the website there. By doing the profiling, you get a lot of benefits. It's going to actually help you know the candidates better. You want to learn about their natural self, how they function without pressure. You want to look at their priority environment. How do they adjust to matters of importance? You need to look at their outward self. How do they come across to others versus what's on their resume? Their operational styles, their natural styles for daily interaction. Are they a get up and have a conversation type person? Are they a Slack only? Are they an email only? Are they a phone, pick up the phone? How do they like to work in their operational style? And motivators. What motivates them, and also what demotivates them. And that concludes the area of how to set up a good recruitment strategy for your agency. We'll move on now to video number 7.